I guess I start with that. Start with the Pussy March, because that came right through my neighborhood. Right through. I live on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, which is a very nice neighborhood, and I'm proud to live there. And yeah, it was right where I live in the Upper West Side. People were marching all around, and I didn't even know this Women's March thing was happening in New York. I mean, I heard people talking about it, and obviously last year they did it in D.C. and got a huge crowd. They got another huge crowd in D.C., but it was also all over this year, all over in different cities. Not so much in the heartland of the country, surprisingly. There weren't a whole bunch of Illinois pussy marches going on, but they were quite present in the Upper West Side. And oh man, was it fucking annoying. I just couldn't even I was walking to go meet my brother for lunch, and they're just all over the place. And I don't know exactly where they were walking. Like, I think they were going through Central Park and ending at the Trump Tower at the south side of Central Park. You know, because Trump's not even there. He's in Washington, but they're just kind of protesting outside a building that has his name on it. So, you know, it was purely symbolic and dumb, as was the entire march. So, yeah, that worked out. Saw a lot of signs. Few of them were pretty infuriating. But I saw this one. There's this chick, and she's like 20 years old, if I had to guess. And she was holding up a sign that said, "Worst president ever." And it took everything in me to not say something. But I didn't. I just kept walking and kind of shook my head as I walked by. But that's it. Worst president ever. Donald Trump. It really is it's a low bar they've set for worst president ever, you know? Like, guys like me and you, Robbie, we kind of get into how evil the state is and how much fucked up shit they've done. And I mean, if you look down the list of presidents, there's some presidents who have done some really heinous things. And, you know, this is like, it's kind of like, it gets, that worst president ever sign, it gets right to the core of what my problem with all the Trump hate is. You know? Because, like, on the surface, you're almost like, oh, great, everybody hates the president. You know, nobody looks at, like, whatever, like, the honor of the office has been damaged, and hashtag not my president seems like something guys like me and you could get way on board with. Like, that's right. He's not your president. Who cares what some other people voted for, right? That doesn't fucking represent you in any legitimate way. But right there, it's like, oh no, it's you can't even just buy into hating Donald Trump or being skeptical of the executive branch. It's no, you have to acknowledge that this guy's worse than all of the other presidents who preceded him. And he is objectively not. You want to, like, almost grab that chick and be like, hey, you know, no, not grab her. No, I'm sorry.
Finally, someone's taking action against this women's march.
I mean, no, you understand what I'm saying, metaphorically speaking. Grab her.
Dave is preaching for violence towards women. He's no longer the most inconsistent motherfucker you know.
Damn it, you got me. There we go. Violate the nap. But you just want to be like, hey, so, you know, George Bush killed like 1 million Iraqis, right? You know, like, you know how many Vietnamese were killed under LBJ, right? Woodrow Wilson locked up reporters for dissenting against his war. All these type of, like, just the list of just horrific things that presidents have done. Not to mention your great emancipator, Abraham Lincoln, who, you know, everything that you think is so terrible about Assad, he did to his own people.
Everyone he hurt was privileged.
Yeah, right. That's it. But, like, so it's, no, Donald Trump just gets this nod, worst president ever. And, you know, you and me both know what it is, right? It's not any policy that Donald Trump has signed into law. I mean, what has he fucking signed into law, really? He's the worst president ever because he had some tax cuts? No, you know what it is. He's the worst president ever because he's said things that offend me. Now, what, I ask you, could be more the height of privilege than that? You know?
Right.
It's like, this is what's crazy to me, and this is why I set it up by saying I'm walking around the Upper West Side, which is one of the nicest neighborhoods in Manhattan. It's nothing, it's not, I shouldn't say nothing, but it is predominantly wealthy white people in this area, and they've got the nerve to call this guy the worst president ever because he upsets me. And it's not like, I'm not saying like you have to look that far in the past. Forget me going back to Lincoln and Woodrow Wilson and even LBJ. Just look at the last two presidents. You know, look at what George W. Bush did to third world countries in the Middle East. Look at what Obama did to countries in the Middle East and Africa. I mean, how is like destroying Libya not worse than offending some fucking privileged white people who basically just go about their lives unaffected by most of this shit? Or if they are affected, they're certainly no more affected under Trump than they were under previous administrations. But that's the irony to me of all this left-wing shit, is that it's just like, it's like the height of privilege. So anyway, I saw a whole bunch of signs. That was one that stuck out to me. Another one was, there was this couple, again, a white couple. I mean, this thing was like, I mean, at least the portion up by me that I saw was just, the vast majority of them were white people. And then even like the you know, the black people that I saw there, and there was a few, but it's all like upper middle class. But you know, it's not as if this is like a real, like, oh, the real disenfranchised people are speaking up or anything. It's, you know, the most privileged people who are decided this is the worst president ever because their feelings have been hurt. And, but so there was this couple, again, another white couple, a couple of Upper West Siders, I presume, and they were there with like, with their sick, again, I'm guessing ages, I don't exactly know, but they're two kids, and if I had to guess, the boy was around 6 and the girl was around 10, and the father's holding a sign that says, not my shithole president. And I it's just this weird moment where it's like, okay, so this is it, right? Now you're touching on, this is why Trump's the worst president ever, because he says offensive things, and he called Haiti a shithole, right? Which is the most offensive thing ever, because of course, Haiti's a wonderful place that we'd all love to live. And he allegedly called Haiti a shithole in a closed-door meeting with other congressmen and lawmakers. So allegedly, he called Haiti a shithole. You know, I saw, this is a great moment, but what's his name? I'm blanking on his name, but the guy who's the editor at National Review was on a panel with, God damn it, I'm just doing terrible with names now today. The one who just left MSNBC and came over to CNN, who Joy Reid was all upset that she left. But anyway, there's this crazy left-wing maniac who was a big Obama-Hillary supporter. And he asked her, you know, she was going off about how horrible the shithole comment was. And he just turned to her. I thought it was a great moment. And he goes, would you rather live in Haiti or Norway? And she goes, well, I don't know. It depends. And you're like, there you go. There's the level of honesty on the left. You can't even just give a straight answer of like, well, yeah, I would rather live in Norway, which is, by the way, the richest country in the world per capita. The richest country in the world.
Well, it depends. Is it a day of my life where I happen to need a chicken doctor and some goat feces? Because in that case, Haiti.
Right? Yeah. If you're looking for some fucking good voodoo, I don't know. But so she can't even answer this point blank question, right? And it really does. It leaves one to wonder, like, how come we give all this humanitarian aid to Haiti? How come the Red Cross and the Clinton Foundation and all these other organizations are helping out Haiti, but they're not helping out Norway? You know, I mean, don't the poor people, the people in Norway, which is just as much of a shithole as Haiti? You know, why is it when Trump looks like he's got a chance to win, and all these left-wing celebrities and people are saying they're going to move out of the country, how come they're always moving to Canada? You know? How come none of them are ever like, if Trump wins, I'm going to move to Haiti? Yeah, I think you could live cheaper in Haiti. It's, oh yeah, because none of you want to live in that shithole. But anyway, so this guy's got a sign, and that says, not my shithole president. And it's like, okay, so you're so offended by this president, and he's the worst president ever because he's not politically correct, essentially. And again, like, as everyone who listens to the show know, I've never been a Trump supporter. I'm not a big Trump guy. I've got lots of problems with the guy, but I just don't put offending upper middle class people as on the level of outrage as, say, like, you know, slaughtering third world people or robbing wealth from the working class in America or whatever, or just stifling innovation or any of these other things that we talk about here. Obviously, mass incarceration or militarizing police or asset forfeiture or any of these things that are just like so much more morally outrageous. But okay, he in a closed door meeting called this shithole country a shithole, allegedly. And that's your big outrage. And here you are protesting against those values, but you're sitting with your 6-year-old boy and your 10-year-old girl holding up a sign that says, "Not my shithole president." So you're comfortable using the term in front of your children, but you're outraged that he used the term in a closed-door meeting with congressmen and senators. Isn't that kind of strange? You know? It's like, this is the thing that drives me crazy about the left. It's not even the type of people who are like, you know, they want to have this thing of like, oh, what do I say to my children that the president of the United States talks this way? Oh, they don't give a fuck about that at all. They're sitting there with the sign right in front of their kid. Like, I don't know. You know, you guys listen to the podcast. You know I have a fucking filthy mouth, all right? And I curse a lot. But I would never, like, walk around with Lewis's 5-year-old with a sign that said shithole on it. That would feel like wildly inappropriate to me. Like, I'm with a kid. You're with your kids and you got this sign, "Not my shithole president." Like, what is this? So this is you combating his values with your shittier values? Shithole values. That's what I say. What a strange fucking scene, that Pussy March. Strange scene. And then, the one that took the cake for me was I saw this couple, early 20s, I would say. Also white people, also in the Upper West Side. And the guy is wearing he's wearing one of those pussy hats, which that's what they call them. I don't exactly understand it. It wasn't like, you remember last year they were wearing the full like vagina costumes?
No, but I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, they were wearing the full vagina costumes. I didn't see so much of that this year. I think there were some people who said that the vaginas were offensive because they were depicting a white woman's vaginas. I don't know. You can never satisfy these maniacs. But so there's this guy, and he's wearing like this pink hat with two little things coming up at the top of it. It doesn't really look like a vagina to me, and I've seen a few in my day. But anyway, he's wearing this pussy hat. And he's there with his chick, and he had a sign. And this is a grown man. I mean, it's a man in his 20s, at least. And he's got a sign that said, the sign said, "Girls just want to have fun, ding for Planned Parenthood." And you want to grab this guy. And now, this time, I don't have to walk it back. You want to fucking grab this guy and just be like, "Dude, you suck. Like, you just fucking suck. Your whole thing is terrible. Like, you're in a miserable relationship. I can guarantee that right now. There is no way you are getting any fun out of this, and she's going to end up leaving you for a real man one of these days. But dear God, you're an adult. You're a goddamn adult with a sign that says, 'Girls just want to have fun, ding for Planned Parenthood.'" Ugh. Oof. I guess the thing that's most disturbing about the marches is just that, look, man, I mean, they draw a lot of fucking people. A lot of fucking people. And this might be a good sign for the Democrats. Certainly they think it is. But I gotta say, it's interesting that hating Trump can generate more enthusiasm and passion than Hillary Clinton ever could, you know? Like Hillary Clinton, Trump was drawing huge crowds to his rallies, and Hillary Clinton was doing like whatever, and there was no enthusiasm in that campaign. But hating Trump, this is a real winner for the left, because this draws hundreds of thousands of people. That march in D.C. was packed, man. It was insane, and it's just like it's like, what the fuck are you guys even protesting? They don't even have an issue. There's a lot of different videos that have been made by like right-wing YouTubers and other people who they go around asking these people questions like, so what are you protesting? And it's like, hate and misogyny and xenophobia. And it's like, what? What actually are you protesting? And they have nothing. They have nothing. But it's a whole bunch of just virtue signaling and nonsense, and I don't know. It was just goddamn awful. Anyway, just thought I'd let you guys know my little anecdotal evidence, or my experience with the Women's March. It was vomit-inducing. Man. So, you know what I thought we'd play? Because I saw someone posted this in the... Go ahead.
I didn't realize it's been a whole year, because I heard that they were doing a women's march, and I just didn't think... I was like, oh, I guess there's an... I thought these were more regular, that I was like, oh, I guess they're doing that stupid thing again. I didn't realize it's like, this is the annual... It's like a big old ordeal.
Yep, time flies when you're having fun, my friend.
I guess.
And Donald Trump has kept it fun.
Were there any big speakers? I gotta, I guess, go watch some of it, see if anyone said anything really stupid.
There were a bunch of speakers. I don't know, exactly who, but I think they had a bunch of celebrities and stuff like that. I haven't really looked into that myself, but yeah.
And I imagine they talked about how tough it is to be a lady.
Oh, yeah.
And how someone needs to come to their aid and really change the entire world.
Yeah, that's right. It's really
Look, I'm woke. I don't even need to go to these things because I get it.
You're so woke. You're woke to the 10th degree.
Yeah.
I don't even need... I'm doing my own I'm already living in the future where women are dominant, and I'm doing my own march at home, which involves me drinking a beer and playing video games. Anyway, so there was this video that was posted in the Part of the Problem Inner Circle Facebook group, which, by the way, if you've been waiting to get into... You will be in by the end of the day today. I'm going through all the lists, and I'll do the next round of getting people in there, which, of course, you can get access to the private Facebook group if you become a supporting listener over at gasdigitalnetwork.com. Use promo code POTP. Save 15%. Not only do you get into the private Facebook group, but you get on-demand instant access to all of our archives. This is now episode 302, so there's just a ton of them out there, and you can go back and listen as I've kind of, developed my philosophy and called out government and media bullshit for the last several years, which has always been fun. Anyway, so there was this video posted, and I thought it would be fun to play this and break down a little bit. And it really is like, it's amazing. It's like what the left wants men to be. It's like, the left-wing feminists that we're dealing with today, they all want women to be men, and they want men to be bitches. And I don't even know how else to say it, but that's their cause. It's like men are supposed to be fucking bitches. And as Jordan Peterson was breaking down in that UK interview that's gone viral, it's like, yeah, man, that might be nice for some people who want to like dominate men, but it ends up leading to miserable men and miserable women. But anyway.
That's actually super interesting, because I see a lot of that where they celebrate, like, manly qualities in men. And, like, when they go, like, I want to see, like, a chick as a CEO, but she wants him to be, like, a tough, like what you would envision as a man. And then on the same, but they don't want men to act that way.
Oh, that's right.
That's very interesting. I hadn't really heard it put that way.
Yeah, well, when she was on top, feminists loved Ronda Rousey, because they love the idea of a woman kicking ass. But, if you had asked a feminist 4 or 5 years ago, I mean, even, I guess recently, what's her name, Meryl Streep, ask them about mixed martial arts. They're like, oh, it's just brutality and toxic masculinity, and it's horrible. But as soon as there's a chick in there kicking ass, it's like, oh, yeah, we're all for that. No, they love that. They love the idea of women being men. Right, and it's everything. There's never.
And you see, I see that like with sex stuff. You get some like slutty older chick, and they celebrate the fuck out of that. Like Sex in the City, kind of like, you go, girl, you're going to get it. You're sexual liberation.
Yeah, you want to fuck just like men want to fuck. Oh, that's fucking great.
Right, and then if you're an old guy trying to get it on, you're a creep.
Yep, that's exactly right. Oh yeah, it's quite crazy. It's very absurd. But it's also, you'll see like there's never any of these feminists. They're never celebrating like look, even just like when you get into the wage gap conversation, right? It's like, it's so strange that, so if you were going to say, which this is the reality of the situation, okay? In first world, relatively free Western countries, women will choose to go into the more nurturing jobs, right? So men will be more likely to go into like something that just makes money, that is like passionless. You know, like there's what are the examples that Christina Hoff Sommers always uses, but like metal lurching and like you know, like, I don't know, just different parts of like silly little fields. They go into finance and all this other bullshit to work long hours and make money. And women will take a job that makes them less money to go like into nursing or teaching or something like in that realm, you know? And all the feminist sees out of that is like, oh, this is wrong, and we got to get women into these fucking high-powered fields that men want to go into. They're just pissed off that like there aren't more women in tech or something like that, you know? And it's like, what type of like woman-hating human would look at that and think that that is like to the discredit of women? So women are willing to take less money to go do a job that involves nurturing and kind of like maternal instincts. Wouldn't you look at that and be like, oh, that's great. That's like a really moral, positive thing. Like, Wall Street is flooded with douchebags, and I don't think the same could be said for nurses, you know? Or like, you know, primary care stuff. Like, it's just like crazy.
Yeah, you're 100% right, but what they're trying to claim is that they're at a disadvantage, and so someone needs to come in and correct this disadvantage and start, you know, handouts. There has to be given opportunities because the current system needs to be fixed. And there's firstly, that's a big flaw, what you just mentioned, that they're choosing nurturing careers. It also doesn't price in for risk. Like my career level, right, it's 100% risk. I make almost zero money, and I'm working 3 high growth opportunity jobs and not living that well to do it. That's a choice, and I don't know too many women who. I have 2 sisters who are working jobs right now. They make infinitely more money than I do, but I got 100 times more risk on my plate. There's a good chance in 20 years from now I'll make 10, 12 times their income.
Right.
Or I might fail trying, and there's a lot of dudes who live this way, looking for glory.
Well, that's right, and I mean, look, I can relate to that because I've been through that for fucking years. I mean, I've been doing comedy for 11 and a half years now, and it's really only been the last year and a half that I've started making any money at it. There were years and years of just struggling and being broke and all that shit. And that's why when I was saying before, like now I'm fucking proud to live on the Upper West Side and to be able to support myself and my chick and like have a decent place and like be you know, it's like, yeah. So right. So you go through that fucking thing and it's very, very high risk with no guarantee. And I do agree. Yes, more men tend to do that. But the point I was making before that you're even getting at is that if you look at this thing and you go like, it's like, okay, well, men choose to do this, and then women will choose to, like, whatever, nursing is the example, go into nursing and make less money. It's like, why are we deciding that that's inherently worse? That means they have less power? I mean, this is just a different decision they made that you could easily argue is a far more noble decision to make. You know? But as you said, the point is they want women to be men. They want women to have these traditionally male dominated fields. Women have to be in there, and then of course they want men to be bitches, and that'll bring us to this video, which, you know, I just enjoyed watching too much, and a couple people in the inner circle said they would love to see me break this down, so why not? Now, this was put out by Now This. Are you familiar with Now This at all?
Only somewhat. I feel like I've come across a couple of these, but I don't really get what they're aimed. I don't really know. Lay it on me here.
Okay, well, they're basically just horrific left-wing propaganda videos. But this is from Now This Her. Okay? So that's the Facebook page that put it out. But if you're familiar with Now This, it's already Now This Her. Like, you didn't really need to start a whole new division to be for women. The whole fucking thing is Now This Her. But anyway, that was the one that put
I guess
this
what
out.
I find a bit surprising is Now This would imply to me, like, here's another thing to be upset about. Isn't that the implication of this now? Like, now this?
I think it's more like breaking news, like, now this is happening. But,
okay.
you know, I guess it could...
Totally
you could take
lost
it that
on
way.
me.
You took it in a nice confetti Jew way instead. Now this?
Now this?
All we
This
have to
also?
deal with it now this?
That's 100%.
No more everything bagels? Now this? What will I put my whitefish spread on? Yeah, you know, I get it. I'm all over those.
I guess that was a
instincts.
cultural, yeah.
All right, so here is Now This Her, and the video is titled, I'm Sorry.
I'm sorry.
You should be, all right? Let me tell you, as someone who's already watched this video, you have a lot to be sorry about, bro. You should be sorry for showing your face in public after making this goddamn abortion of a video.
As a man, I have been a part of the problem for a very long time.
All right, you know what? Nothing wins you back like a shout out to the program, so I appreciate that. I don't like this fucking guy using my title, okay? You're not a part of the problem. I'm a part of the problem. I'm the host of Part of the Problem, and I also don't like how this guy's like a bizarro world Dave Smith, where I'm like fucking better looking and in better shape and fucking, I don't know, and a complete cuck. All right, let's go.
And I'm just now realizing at the ripe old age of 34.
Fuck, we're the same age. Everything's working out bad for me. Oh God, I hate this guy's face. All right, sorry.
Just how complicit I've been in all of the problems that are existing today. I have a lot of privilege that I didn't really realize I had, especially as a white, straight male.
Well, I gotta say, for a straight male, you're already coming off pretty gay. Pretty goddamn faggy, if you ask me. He's been complicit, he says, Rob, in all of the world's problems. Isn't that already kind of a narcissistic statement?
Right, that you're that important.
Yeah, you're really actually not involved in like 99.999% of the world's problems.
Shit, if this guy's at fault for the starvation in Libya, we gotta go get him.
Yeah, really. You've just been complicit in all of the world's problems. Doesn't that already show you just the view of straight white men? And how much, I mean, everything about the tone of this video so far, it's like, just be a complete bitch if you're going to come out and be a straight white man. I mean, that's it. Hey, I'm sorry, and I'm complicit in all of the world's problems. Dude, if you had never fucking been born and never existed, all of the world's problems would be identical to where they are right now, okay? If anything, you're just adding to the fucking problem that is fucking virtue signaling, pandering bullshit on the left. But god damn it, what a fucking unwittingly narcissistic thing to say.
Maybe he's actually behind Kim Jong-un or the Communist Party in Russia. I mean, in China. Who knows?
That's right.
He could be all these things.
Or just the Communist Party in the United States of America, also known as the Democrats. All right, let's go.
And I think that one of the things I've learned recently is just how much I wasn't listening. Look, the majority of men that I know, I just don't believe we've realized just how much we have repressed and held you back. And just know that there are a lot of good men in the world. More good men than bad men. And
Well, that's debatable. More good men than bad men in the world? I don't know. I mean, the world is pretty dominated by some pretty fucking horrible people. Now, I know you've been complicit in all of these problems around the world, so I think you would probably know that the vast majority of men in the world live in pretty fucked up situations. And if you want to talk about privilege, that's really where it's at, that you're not one of them. But yeah, no, I don't know. That's a pretty bold statement to just say the vast majority of men are good. If the vast majority of men are good, then why don't feminists shut the fuck up for once?
Are they going to drop the green screen at one point and we get to see the women who are holding this guy captured? Like, with the knife to his balls, they just like zoom out. He's like got the electricity roads on him or whatever.
He's like making a speech like, like condemning the U.S. when you're held captive by ISIS.
That's what this feels like. All right.
I believe the vast majority of us don't want to be jerks, don't want to be harassers, don't want to make women feel uncomfortable. I think for a long time we've been, whether purposefully or accidentally, segregating ourselves, splitting up the way that we view our inherent rights as humans. They always,
that kind of bugs me because actually we haven't all been segregating ourselves. First off, men and women have never been segregated, okay? I don't know where it is. It's like you borrow this fucking language from Jim Crow to try to fucking apply to men and women. Women were never segregated, okay? Even if you want to go back to the bad old times of the past, women and men got married and had kids and lived in the same homes together. They weren't fucking segregated. And, in terms of us being inconsistent in the way that we apply natural rights, I've actually been pretty goddamn consistent in the way I apply natural rights. I don't know. Bob, you've been pretty goddamn consistent yourself too, and so have all the other fucking libertarians. So if you want to talk about consistency of application of natural rights, yeah, maybe then you should look to the one group of people who have been advocating for universal natural rights.
We say this is a difficult time to be a woman or to be a man, but I think It's always been difficult to be a human. And right now, I'm excited because there's a lot of awakening, and there's a lot of men realizing that it's their job as humans, not just as men or as women, to stand up and say and demand that this section of the population, this 51% of human beings in the world, deserve the exact same respect.
All right. Well, let me just say, I am glad that he acknowledged that it's 51% of the population, because women are the only fucking, like, protected minority group that are actually a fucking majority. So, yes, you're right. Women are 51% of the population. And last I checked, much to my chagrin, we live in a fucking democracy. Okay? So if women are 51% of the population, they can vote whatever the fuck they want into power and out of power. And the truth is, this Women's March won't seem to acknowledge that Donald Trump actually got a lot of women. He got a lot of women to vote for him. Hillary Clinton couldn't even carry her own demographic of white women. But what really fucking bugs me about that comment is he goes that this group that is 51% of the population deserves to be treated with the exact same respect. What a misunderstanding of what respect is. Respect isn't something that you just apply to all groups equally, okay? Respect is something you fucking earn, all right? So no, I don't respect every group of people the same, and I don't respect all women the same as I respect all men. That's not how respect works. Respect is inherently an individual thing, and I respect people who have achieved more. I definitely don't respect dudes who go to this fucking insane levels to pander to fucking some left-wing bullshit. So no, I don't respect that. I respect people who have actually achieved things. I respect people for being good people. You know, I respect talent. I respect accomplishments. And no, that's not how respect works. Sorry.
And access to education and opportunity as the other 49%. Equality is a human issue.
No, actually, equality is a neo-Marxist fucking fairy tale. That's what it is, okay? It's a fucking neo-Marxist fairy tale that in theory is really stupid and in practice is really equal. I'm sorry, really evil. That's it. In theory, it's stupid, and in practice, it's evil. What the fuck does this even mean? It's like, okay, so this 49%, this 51% of the population, women, should have equal respect, and they should have equal access to education. Like, what are you even, how does that even kind of apply to a first world country today? Access to education? Where are we not giving women school? Women are actually doing far better in school than fucking men are right now. That's the truth. Go look at college and high school degrees. They're going disproportionately to women. But no one seems to have a problem with that, because that's fine. And by the way, I don't have a problem with that either. I don't give a fuck where they're going. If someone else is earning their fucking degree, then they should get their degree. But no, equality, what the fuck does it even mean? What the fuck does equality even fucking mean? It's nonsense. You're already, I mean, you're making the fucking dumbest point ever in this video, but you're an articulate, good-looking guy. That's not fucking equal. That's pretty fucking rare. It's rare that people have those skills. And a lot of people would fucking give anything to have those fucking skills. But you get them and other people don't. People are taller, they're shorter, they're fatter, they're fucking smarter, they're fucking more driven. Some people have you know, good parents. Some people have shitty parents. There's a million different ways that we're not fucking equal. And in fact, I've never met two human beings who are equal. And then a lot of times, like traditionally speaking, and this is, you know, like, Murray Rothbard wrote a great book on this, on egalitarianism. Egalitarianism as a Revolt of Nature, I believe is the title. I might be getting that wrong, but you can look it up and you'll find it. But no, I mean, a lot of times people like the kind of the Republicans or more kind of right-leaning people, they would say things like well, they distinguish between equality of outcomes and equality of opportunity. I'm sure you've heard that before, Rob.
Yes.
But really, if we're going to be honest about it, equality of opportunity is bullshit too. I mean, like, you're never going to get to any true sense of equality for of opportunity. Some people have better opportunities than others, and that's always going to be the fucking case. Like, I'm sorry, it's some parents are better parents than others. Some parents provide their kids with more opportunities than others. Some people get lucky and get into better opportunities than others. Some people just get lucky and get better genes And they have a better opportunity. There's no way that a really smart person and a really average person in terms of intelligence are going to have the same equality of opportunity. One of them is going to have way more opportunity than the other. And maybe, you know how many people get fucking, like, if you listen to anyone's, like, success story, anyone who's really, like, really successful, there's always some fucking luck involved in it. And usually there's also a lot of skill and hard work and other things involved in it. But there's the idea that we're gonna, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, so this idea of, this is why I say in theory it's stupid, because anyone, if you just take this apart for a second, you're like, yeah, there's no such thing as equality. Human beings aren't equal, and there's no way to ever, like, create a world where human beings are actually equal. And then, of course, in practice, it's fucking evil. Because it's not like a coincidence. It's not like any of these guys on the left are going like, oh, we're all for equality, but we just hope that happens. We're not advocating a big government go along with that. What always comes next is then we're advocating all of these policies that are going to enforce equality, or that are going to, have the desired outcome of equality. And that's where the shit gets really evil. Because obviously, if you have any level of freedom, people will not have equal opportunities, and they will not have equal outcomes. That's just the way life works. And there's no way you could fucking change that. Anybody who's been a human being for a couple decades is pretty aware of the fact that life is not fair, man. Life is not fair, and it's not equal. And it's never going to be.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I was thinking it, like, in terms of Bernie Sanders, like, this guy has 2 arms, this guy has no arms, we got to take an arm from this guy, give it to this guy.
Right.
It's like, we don't all have the same talents. And I want everyone to have as much opportunity as possible, and the way you have that is if some really smart, hardworking, rich people can go make some companies that you can work at. It's like, great.
Yeah.
Go do more than me. I'm kind of lazy. Go do it. Maybe give me a job with something cool to do. Like, we're not all going to be equal.
What you can have is maximum freedom, which leads to maximum opportunity. What you want to have is you want to give people as much opportunity to go make something of their life as possible, but to pretend that it's going to be an equal opportunity for everybody. But yeah, okay, sure, you don't want any legal hurdles in the way of somebody achieving something. But it's all ridiculous.
I don't know if I'm going to phrase this right, but that's almost an interesting question for these people. Like, if you could have more, but that still means someone has more than you, do you not want to live in that world?
Yeah. Well, that was a great Margaret Thatcher quote. When I forget exactly what it was, but she was in the what do they call it, the House of Parliament or whatever, in Britain, where they'll have that thing where it's just a whole bunch of people yelling at each other.
Hilarious. It's so much cooler than the way we do it.
Boop, and a lot of that nonsense. But so one person, so she was basically talking about how wealth has risen across the board during her reign as prime minister, and then somebody in the Labour Party goes, yes, but inequality has gotten worse. And she gave this great snappy comeback where she goes, I think you've just exposed everything about the left. Because even though wealth is rising, you're upset that the gap is bigger. So they'd rather have the gap smaller, but way down here, than be up here and have the gap bigger.
Yeah, they don't even understand
that. Like, that's a really interesting dynamic. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like, what do you want to do here? Do you want to live in a country like, I don't know, Haiti, where there's not a huge income gap? There's basically, probably 2 gaps. There's like the royalty, essentially, and everybody, There's like the fucking 20 people who are politically connected, and then there's fucking everybody else. They're all together in grinding, backbreaking poverty. Or do you want to have a free society where there's all types of different levels? There's, you know what I mean? There's people who only make $50,000 a year, and then there's somebody who makes $500,000 a year, and then there's somebody who makes $2 billion a year. But even the guy who makes $50,000 is light years better off than the average Haitian. So yeah, equality is a fucking dumb goal. It's stupid in practice. It's stupid on paper and evil in practice.
And it won't be until we as men recognize that's part of our job as men, as human beings, to support women, that things will really change. There's a quote that I grew up with in the Baha'i faith. Abdu'l-Baha says that humanity can be likened to a bird. On one wing is male, and on the other wing is female. But it's not until those wings are equivalent in strength that the bird can fly.
Oh, wow. Well, when you put it that way, I guess I take everything back. I mean, what a great analogy with the bird and the wings. Like, what are you talking to, a group of fucking dumb 7-year-olds? Who the fuck does that? Who even introduces that as an argument? In fucking.
That's like the Billy Madison dog story at the end. It has nothing to do with anything.
That should be the response to it. That dude from Billy Madison, because nothing you said in that entire incoherent rambling even came close to an adult thought. We're all dumber for having listened to that. What's, oh yeah, well the one bird is the men, one bird is the women, and the other one is. How fucking retarded are you? This is the level. It's like, but this is what it is. It's just like the equality thing. It's like, oh, it just kind of sounds nice. It just sounds nice, and I guess it's for really dumb people who want to think they have the moral high ground. Like, actually, that's not how men and women are. We're not wings on a fucking bird. We're individuals.
Also, I'm not familiar with the Baha'i faith, but is that a bunch of feminist cucks? Is that the religion now?
Evidently. Evidently. It's some fucking cuckold faith that this guy was brought up with. And I don't even like the implication of this thing where it's like, first of all, it's so weird how they contradict their own fucking values. But it's like, he goes, so it's men's job to support women. That's actually what he said. It's men's job to support women. Wow, man, that seems a little bit sexist, if you ask me. Since women are so strong and so brave, why can't they support themselves? Why has it got to be you who support them? No, I'm sorry. Look, it's not my job to support women. Okay, I support my woman and my family. That's who it's my job to fucking support. It's not my job to fucking support women, just all of them. Sorry, I'll support my chick, and for that, she gives me regular blowjobs. So until all the rest of women are ready to step up and pay that price, I ain't supporting all of them, okay? How about that? How about since you're such fucking strong, independent women, go fucking support yourselves.
And I really believe that true equality will help us soar as a species. And I think that that's what we all want. Let me just say that for everything I've done, for my unconscious biases, for the ways that I don't listen to the women in my life, for the ways that I've ignored ideas, and for the ways that I've been ignorant and tone deaf. I'm sorry.
Wow. Now her. Well, look at that. And that is, right there, exactly what third wave feminists want men to be. A fucking little bitch apologizing for his existence, essentially. So he starts by, right there at the end, he apologizes for his unconscious bias, which is just a fucking retarded thing to ever have to apologize for. Everybody has unconscious biases, okay? And the idea that you have to apologize for your unconscious thoughts, well, first off, you're not even aware of what your unconscious thoughts are. That's what makes them unconscious thoughts, okay? And human beings don't have to fucking apologize for having some fucking thought that they're unaware of. Of course, nobody's asking women to apologize for their unconscious biases, too. But you know what? They have them, too. And then, this was fucking revealing about this fucking cuck. Then, he apologizes for not listening to the women in his life. So, okay. That's on you, dude. That's not something that don't put that on all men. Like, we all need to fucking apologize for that. I don't know about you, but I do listen to the women in my life. I've always listened to the women in my life. I was raised by a single mother who's like a very capable, very intelligent person. I had an older sister, which is quite common for most people. All of my teachers were women. Even my fucking principal was a woman. She was horrible. She was like abusive towards children, and she was fucking dumb as shit. She was a public school principal, and they eventually got her fired. And that's how bad she is. You know how bad you have to be to get fucking fired at a public school? Room. She was genuinely abusive towards children. She was this fat black chick who was like fucking borderline retarded. And she was just awful. Just god awful. And so principal was a woman. All my teachers were a woman. My mother was a woman. My grandmother, my sister, all the people in my family and in my school, every single authority figure was a woman. So I don't know about you, but for me, not listening to women was never really an option. I listened to women my whole life. I also listen to my girlfriend today. I don't know. So I don't have any fucking apology for not listening. And if you're not listening, maybe don't put that on all men. Maybe that's fucking your issue. Maybe you're a fucking narcissist. Seeing as how you think you're complicit in all of the evils in the world, and you don't listen to the fucking women around you. What a fucking dumb, just the level of fucking pandering and nonsense. And the thing where after the end of the bird thing, it says, only when we have true equality can we soar as a people. Again, as I said, true equality. What the fuck is true equality? What does that even mean?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And on that note, I got a mom, 2 sisters. They're all doing fine. All my friends' wives, they're all doing fine. I got all the female cousins, they're all doing fine. And none of them have this perspective of, hey, the world's out to get me. I need someone to step into this game and fix it. And I think that's why they're all doing well in life. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine it certainly is somewhat related.
I don't know a single chick in my life that's got this perspective, or at least for my, family and, immediate group of friends.
Yeah,